If you own a modern digital camera for photo or video and it has removable lenses, one of the things that you absolutely should know is how to clean your own camera sensor. You can always send your camera out to be cleaned professionally, but that's time consuming and not as cost effective as doing it yourself. I know that cleaning your own camera sensor can be a little bit scary at first, but there's a safe and easy way to do it, which is exactly what I'm talking about today. What's up guys, thank you for joining me. I'm your host Sam, and today we're talking all about how to clean your camera sensor and how to keep it clean, and why you would want to keep it clean, but I think that kind of goes without saying. If you've ever gone out and shot a bunch of photos or videos and gotten home, put your SD card in, and all of a sudden you're noticing this same dark spot in all your images, it's more than likely a piece of dust on your camera sensor. Most of the time this wouldn't be a huge deal and you could just use something like a rocket blower to get the dust off your sensor, but every once in a while there will be a piece of debris that's stuck to your sensor and just will not come off no matter what you do with the blower. And this leaves us with two options. You can either send your camera out to be cleaned professionally, which is not only going to take time, but it's also going to cost money, or you could take that time and money and put it towards buying cleaning supplies and learning how to clean your own camera sensor. And also, with the amount of money that you would spend getting your camera cleaned professionally, you could buy enough cleaning supplies to last you like your whole career. And also, you have to think about not having your camera for however long it takes to get cleaned is losing you money if you're using your camera professionally. Much like the name implies, modern mirrorless cameras don't have a mirror that flip down in front of the sensor like older DSLR cameras did. This means that your camera sensor is just completely exposed to the elements if there's no lens or body cap on your camera. So because modern sensors are as sensitive as they are, you want to limit the amount of time that they're exposed to the outside world. Things like dust or water or even really bright lights and lasers are all potentially damaging to modern camera sensors. Of course, you will have to expose your sensor from time to time so you can change lenses. The best method I've found to keep the dust to a minimum is to hold the camera with the sensor facing the floor and using a dust blower to blow air up into the camera so the dust can fall back out. If you were to hold it with the sensor facing the ceiling, you would be blowing dust further into the camera, and we definitely don't want that. So in order to clean your camera sensor, you're going to need 4 things. Number 1, camera. Number 2, sensor swab. Number 3, cleaning solution. Number 4, dust blower. Things you absolutely should not use to clean your camera sensor. You shouldn't use any form of Windex or any sort of like glass cleaner, nothing like that. It should only be sensor cleaning fluid. For all I know, it's just repackaged into a little bottle and marked up, but I'm pretty sure the sensor cleaning fluid is what you should use on your camera sensor. Number 2, an electric dust blower. These are super convenient. It's way easier to just hit a button than it is to actually squeeze a blower, but I don't use this for my camera sensor because there's no filter on it. It's just pulling whatever out of the air and blowing it into your camera or your lens, and that's not a good thing. In fact, I used one of these on my macro lens and it blew a bunch of dust into the lens, which I now can't get back out of the lens without sending it in to get cleaned. So I just wouldn't recommend these for camera gear. Number 3, microfiber cloths. I use these for my camera lenses, I use them for my computer monitor, my cell phone, but I wouldn't use these to clean the sensor on my camera just because it's not the right tool for the job. Last but not least on the list of things not to use are these prepackaged wipes. These are fine for glasses or a computer monitor, but I wouldn't use them on my lenses or on my sensor because it leaves little fibers behind. It's like pieces of the wipe get left behind on whatever you're cleaning. And now the part you've all been waiting for, the important part of the video, how to clean your camera sensor without completely destroying it. Something to keep in mind about these sensor cleaning swabs are they are not all the same size. So this is an APS-C size swab, this is a full frame size swab, and the ends are different sizes to fit the different sensors. So if your camera has an APS-C size sensor and you buy a full frame swab for it, it's not going to fit down inside your camera to clean the sensor. Another thing to be aware of with this sensor cleaning solution is we are not putting this on our sensor. We're not dropping this down inside the camera and letting liquid pool up in different areas. We're putting it on the swabs only. So this does not go on your sensor, it goes on the sensor cleaning swab. Also, a brief disclaimer before we begin. If you decide to use like a pocket knife instead of the swabs or spit instead of the solution, that is not my fault. I will not be held responsible for anything that you decide to do to your camera. I am just here to give you my knowledge to the best of my ability on how to clean your camera sensor. So first things first, before we get into it with the swab, we're going to take the body cap off and we're just going to blow off any debris off of the sensor so that we're not dragging dirt and debris across the sensor while we're cleaning it. Next, you're going to take the full frame cleaning swab out of its packaging. Obviously, these are one use. You're just going to throw this out once it's done. And now that we have the swab out, that's what it looks like. You're going to want to open up your cleaning solution. And what I like to do with the full frame swabs is I do 2 drops on both sides. Make sure that soaks in well. These are pretty absorbent. And this is a very simple process. All you're gonna do is you're gonna start at one end like this, drop it down. We're not putting any pressure on the sensor whatsoever. And you're just gonna drag it across once, flip it over, drag it across again. Again, no pressure. Pull it off and it's done. That is literally the entire process of cleaning your camera sensor. Sometimes there may be something on your sensor that requires multiple passes, but for the most part, in the last 2 years, I've never had to do that. It's always just been once to the side and then once the other way, and it's done. Another great use for these swabs after you're done using them without just throwing them right out is getting in all the little areas that you can't normally get with a microfiber. So all the little crevices that have like dust in them and stuff you could get with these swabs before you throw them out. Anyway guys, that's been my tutorial on how to safely and reliably clean your camera sensor. If you got something out of this, consider going down and hitting the like and the sub button. It means the world to content creators like me. Thank you for joining me on another episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.